Hey, Vikings faithful. Merry Christmas from your biggest Minnesota Vikings fan right here. Can you believe it's game day on this festive Thursday afternoon? We're talking about our Purple Warriors facing off against the Detroit Lions in what could be a playoff-deciding thriller. But hold on, folks, the injury report just dropped, and it's got some curveballs that have me pacing the floor. As a die-hard supporter, I'm gutted about a few key names, but excited to see our depth shine. Stick with me as we break down this Minnesota Vikings news, scene by scene, building up to the big implications. What do you think, fans? Are we still marching to victory without our stars? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear from every Skol chanter out there. First off, let's talk about our rookie sensation, J.J. McCarthy. He broke a bone in his hand during that gritty 16-13 win over the New York Giants last week. And now he's sidelined for this crucial matchup. That's a tough blow for the Minnesota Vikings, especially with his impressive stats this season, over 2,500 passing yards and a solid touchdown-to-interception ratio. Stepping in is Max Brosmer, our chill rookie backup who's ready to bring that calm under pressure. Remember his college days at New Hampshire and Minnesota? He's got the arm and the poise, but facing the Lions' defense on Christmas Day will be his biggest test yet. Vikings fans, are you pumped to see Brosmer lead the charge? This switch at QB could shift our entire game plan, making things easier for Detroit if we don't adapt quick. But hey, that's why we love the Vikings. We thrive on underdog stories. What's your take on Brosmer starting? Comment below and let's discuss. Next up in this Minnesota Vikings news bombshell is TJ Hockenson, our star tight end who's surprisingly out with a shoulder injury. He didn't practice all week, and it's a massive surprise since he's been our go-to guy in the red zone, hauling in over 700 receiving yards this year. Without him, our passing game takes a hit. Hawkinson's absence means more looks for guys like Jordan Addison and maybe even Gavin Bartholomew. But wait, Bartholomew is also out, nursing his own injury. That's double trouble at tight end for the Minnesota Vikings. How do we fill that void against a Lions team hungry for playoffs? Fans, this has me worried but also fired up for the backups to step up. Do you think our offense can still explode without Hawk? Share your predictions in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going. Shifting to the backfield, Jordan Mason is ruled out with an ankle injury from Sunday's game. He didn't return after tweaking it, and that's a shame because his 4.5 yards per carry have been crucial for our ground attack. The Minnesota Vikings will miss his burst. On the flip side, Aaron Jones also rolled his ankle but powered through and returned. He's entering without a designation, ready to shoulder the load. With over 900 rushing yards this season, Jones could be the key to controlling the clock against Detroit. What about you, Vikings Nation? Can Jones carry us to victory alone? Or do we need to lean on Ty Chandler more? Hit the comments with your opinions. I love hearing from fellow fans. Our offensive line gets a mention too, with Brian O'Neill questionable due to a new heel injury. He's battled knee, ankle, and foot issues all season, but he's pushing to play on this Christmas afternoon. O'Neill's protection has been vital, allowing just 25 sacks on our QBs. If O'Neill suits up, it could stabilize things for Brosmer's debut start. But if not, we're looking at backups like David Quessenberry stepping in. Minnesota Vikings fans, this one's nail-biting. His status could swing the game. Tell me, what's your gut feeling on O'Neill playing? Drop a comment and let's speculate together on this Minnesota Vikings news. Don't forget about our center Ryan Kelly, who's out with a concussion. That's another surprise on the list, as his snapping and blocking have anchored our line all year. Without him, we're reshuffling, maybe with Garrett Bradbury or a backup filling in. This adds to our actually 5 players ruled out, including McCarthy, Hockenson, Mason, and Bartholomew too. It's a banged-up Minnesota Vikings squad, but we've overcome worse. Fans, how does this make you feel about our chances? Optimistic or concerned? Comment below. Your takes keep this community alive. On the defensive side, we've got some good news. No major outs there from the report. But keep an eye on Javon Hargrave with a thigh issue and Eric Wilson with a thumb, both without designations. Their presence could be huge in stopping the Lions' run game. The Minnesota Vikings defense has been stellar, allowing under 20 points per game lately. With these guys likely playing, we might just contain Jared Goff and company. What do you think, Skull Squad? Is our D the key to winning this? Share your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's flip to the Lions. They're coming in very banged up, with 2 out and a whopping 11 questionable. That's music to Vikings' ears. Their offense could be crippled if key pieces sit. Top of that list is Amon-Ra St. Brown, their star receiver with a knee issue. He finished Sunday's game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but was limited in practice. Over 1,000 yards this season. If he's out, disaster for Detroit. Minnesota Vikings fans, imagine our secondary feasting without him. Exciting, right? What's your prediction on St. Brown suiting up? Comment now. Other Lions questionables include Taylor Decker at tackle with shoulder, David Montgomery, the running back, with illness, and Alam McNeil on the D-line with abdomen. That's a lot of uncertainty for them heading into US Bank Stadium. Their outs are Avonte Maddox at corner with back/illness and Giovanni Manu on the line with knee. Weak spots we can exploit. Vikings. How do you see this playing out, fans? Lions too hurt to compete? Drop your opinions below on this Minnesota Vikings news. With all these injuries, this Christmas Day game feels like a wild card. The Minnesota Vikings are 7-8. Wait, no, hold on, our record's better than that. But the pressure's on for playoffs. Actually, checking the latest, we're pushing for that wild card spot, and a win here keeps hopes alive. Stats show we've won 3 of the last 4 against Detroit. Let's make it 4 of 5. Vikings faithful, are you feeling the holiday magic for a W? Tell me in the comments. Building suspense, what if Brosmer lights it up? His college stats, over 3,000 yards at Minnesota, suggest he could surprise. Paired with Justin Jefferson, who's healthy and ready. Jefferson's 200-plus yards this year could torch the Lions secondary, especially if they're missing Maddox. Minnesota Vikings offense might still hum. Fans, who's your MVP prediction? Jefferson or someone else? Comment and let's debate. Defensively, can we pressure Goff without our full O-line on the other side? Our sack leader, Andrew Van Ginkel, is good to go, 10 sacks this season. The Lions' O-line questionables like Decker and Glasgow mean opportunities for blitzes. Skull, what strategy do you want to see, Vikings fans? More blitzes? Share below. As we near kickoff, remember the atmosphere at home. Christmas lights, purple pride everywhere. This game's on national TV, so let's show the world Viking strength. Despite injuries, our depth is tested, but Coach O'Connell's got a plan. Minnesota Vikings news like this builds character. You excited yet? I am. Drop a comment with your game day rituals. Looking ahead, a win boosts our playoff odds to over 60% per stats. Losing? Well, it complicates things for the Lions too, keeping their hopes dim. But we're not thinking loss, positive vibes only. Fans, what's your score prediction? Comment it out. Wrapping this up, Vikings Nation, we've dissected the injuries, the surprises, the opportunities. From McCarthy out to Brosmer in, Hawkinson sidelined, and Lions limping. This Minnesota Vikings news has me hyped for an epic battle. Skull forever. What stood out most to you? Share in the comments. Finally, if you're as passionate as me, hit that like button if this got you pumped. Comment your thoughts, subscribe for more Minnesota Vikings news, and share with your fellow fans. Let's pack the comments, Skull Vikings. Merry Christmas, and let's get that W. Go Vikings! Thanks for tuning in. See you post-game.